All right, today we are modeling ratios. Modeling ratios. And we are on page 36. And 37. That marker doesn't show up very well. I'm going to try another one. Okay. These are actually called bar models, or tape diagrams is what our Math and Focus book often calls them. So if you hear those words interchanged, a bar model, a tape diagram, or just a model in general, that's what we're talking about. So Ethan and Adam are using ribbon to decorate a project in their art class. The ratio of the length of Ethan's ribbon to the length of Adam's ribbon is 7:3. Draw a tape diagram to represent this ratio. Okay, so I'm going to take a step back and think about what I know. I know that I'm comparing Ethan's ribbon to Adam's ribbon, and that it is a 7:3 ratio. Okay, so A says if Ethan has 14 meters of ribbon, how much does Adam have? Okay, so let's look at Ethan's ribbon. If Ethan has 7, we're going to draw 7 boxes. And I try to get them as even as I can. Sometimes I'll even get out a ruler because I just like to be that precise. And Adam has 3. So I really want to make sure that my 3 line up with Ethan's 3. And what it says is if Ethan has 14 meters of ribbon. So if all of this equals 14 meters, what would each box represent? Well, I would take 14 and divide it by 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So each box represents 2 meters. Since we're talking about ratios, we have to keep things equivalent. So if one box is 2 meters for Ethan, then a box for Adam would also be 2 meters. So that means that Adam has 2, 4, 6 meters. Of ribbon. Not too bad. Part B says if Adam has 9 inches of ribbon, how much does Ethan have? Okay, so we're going to draw the same model that we did before. Ethan has 7. and Adam has 3. Says if Adam has 9 inches of ribbon, so if this equals 9 inches, how much does each box represent? 9 divided by 3, that means each of these represents 9 inches. 3 inches. 9 divided by 3 means each box is worth 3. 3, 6, 9. So, for Ethan, we would say he has 3 inches in each box. 3 times 7 would give us 21 inches of ribbon. All right, next page. Megan prepares a fruit punch using apple juice and orange juice in the ratio of 3 to 4. Okay, so I'm going to take a break. Apple juice to orange juice is a 4 to 3 ratio. If the total volume of the fruit punch is 630 milliliters, find the volume of apple juice Megan uses. Draw a tape diagram to represent this ratio. Okay, so this one's just a little bit different. Let's go ahead and draw out our tape diagram. Our apple juice has 4. So we're just going to draw 4 boxes. And our orange juice has 3. I'm going to try to get them to measure as close together as possible. Okay, so we've got our tape diagram. Now it says the total volume of the fruit punch. So that's the apple juice and orange juice mixed together. All of this is 630 milliliters. So I need to figure out how much is each box worth. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. So if I take 630 and divide it by 7, I know that 7 goes into 63 9 times. 9 times 7 is 63. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down a 0. 7 goes into 0 0 times. 0 times 7 is 0. That leaves us with 0. We have nothing else to bring down. So I know that each one of these boxes represents 90 milliliters. Might run out of room here. 90 milliliters. So I go back to my question. It says find the volume of apple juice Megan uses. Okay, so we're looking at apple juice. So we would take 90 times 4, because Apple Juice has 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And that would give us 360. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 0 is 0. And our label is milliliter. So we're looking at 360 milliliters of apple juice. Okay, next one. A box contains baseball and football cards. The number of baseball cards to the number of football cards is in the ratio 5 to 1. Okay, so this is where I take a break and I look baseball, so B to F is in the ratio of 5 to 1. I always want to write that out, no matter how long I've been doing this, because it's easy to get confused. If the total number of cards is 1,380, find the number of each type of cards. Draw a tape diagram to represent this ratio. Okay, so we're going to look at baseball to football. Baseball is going to get 5 boxes. And football is going to get 1. The total number of cards, so all together, is 1,380 cards. So I need to figure out how much is each box worth. Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. So if I take 1,380 and divide it by 6, that means that each box is worth 230 cards. So for baseball, I would take 230 and multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, since there are 5 boxes. And that gives me 1,150. And I'm just going to write BB cards instead of writing out baseball. And for football, I would have 230, and I only have 1 box, so I can multiply it by 1, but I know that that's 230 football cards. And that was what we were looking for. How many of each card would there be?